Hello folks, welcome back to another video and welcome to day 6 of Vlogmas. Now I'm going to be 100% real with you and tell you that this is my second time attempting to record this. I did a full 20 minutes of recording, went to import the footage so I could start editing it because I'm trying to get, some editing done as soon as I get the footage, and this happened. And basically, it was driving me absolutely bonkers, so we are starting this again. I'm really excited for today's episode of Vlogmas because even though it is day 6 of a kind of video series, it's also going to be what's hopefully the start of another video series that I've been wanting to start for a while on my channel, and that is reviews and talk-throughs of various equestrian technology, apps, things like that. So there are a lot of things that I use in my day-to-day equestrian life, like my Pivo, like EQUELAB, which is the app that I use to track all of my rides, and some other things like equestrian subscription services that I've either tried out and really liked or that I've wanted to try out, and making these videos is a good excuse for me to finally try them out. So episode 1 is going to be about a online subscription service slash like they have a presence on social media as well that I've seen and followed for years, but I've never actually tried out the subscription service aspect of what they offer, and that is NOΕLLE Floyd. So they have a YouTube channel that I quite like. They do some really cool content. They've got a really nice Instagram that has really educational and informative reels. They've got a great Facebook page, and they have, it's called EQUESTRIANMasterclass.com. They offer yearly and monthly subscriptions. Now what was stopping me from trying them out for a while, oh my goodness, my voice is departing. Yeah, so what was stopping me from trying them out for a while is that I had looked a few months ago, and for some reason I couldn't see that they had a monthly subscription fee. All I could find was the yearly fee, which is $299 US, which for me is not super feasible nor realistic. I'm a binge watcher, so chances are I would finish what I wanted to watch within a few weeks. My original idea of trialing it over the period of a month, I was like, I'll just try to find another one to try. So anyways, flash forward to now. A couple days ago I was on Facebook and I saw an ad for a Black Friday sale because, hello, filming this in November, this is the first time I've worn anything Christmas themed, and I saw that they were having a big Black Friday sale on their yearly subscription fee. It was $100 off, and I was like, that's a little bit more realistic. Still $199 US, but I might look into it. And as I was going to look it up, I noticed that they have a monthly subscription fee for $29 US with a 7-day free trial. And I am a binge watcher a la extraordinaire, so chances are, depending on how long the masterclasses are, I might be able to watch and take notes on the few masterclasses that I want 100% to check out. Editing Kaitlyn here. As usual, I vastly overestimated my capabilities and only ended up checking out 2 masterclasses, so this review is a little bit different than I originally anticipated. I am going to do just a super quick screen recording to kind of show you what the library looks like. Okay, so when you log on, you get this page here, which kind of highlights, the most recently released masterclass and brings you through some of the other elements that they have. Very much like the equestrian version of those YouTube ads that you'll see for, like, I think it's literally called Masterclass, where they have celebrities and experts in various fields do masterclasses that people can buy and watch. So like, Stephen King teaches you how to write horror stories, things like that. And so I'm going to go to the masterclass library and kind of show you what they have. The things that I think really set this apart and what would make, for some people, would make the yearly fee worth it would be they have guided rides for flat work and jumping. It's kind of like an in-your-ear type workout, but for riding. Lunging and groundwork, hacking and trail riding, mindset, really, really cool. And they also have training programs. So these I'm probably going to leave for another time because my main thing that I want to check out is the masterclasses that they have with various riders. There's some that I definitely want to check out. There's a Quiet Your Riding with Peter Wild. I have no idea who Peter Wild is, but I've seen an ad for this on my Facebook and it looks quite good. And I find I can get a bit busy in my riding sometimes, so that will be helpful. Boyd Martin has done one for finding bravery on cross country, which for me, as someone who wants to do eventing with my young horse, but who has never really done proper cross country, I think there might be some useful tips in there for me. There's also one with Laura Graves, who I see on Facebook ads all the time. She has her own like online training academy, I think. There's ones with Carl Cook about adjustability and things like that. Groundwork with Tick Maynard. There's a hoof care one with someone named Rich Afonso. Leg aftercare. There's one with Ian Miller, Captain Canada. Just a really nice mix of things for different people. There's some that aren't 100% relevant to me, like Archie Cox teaches how to win. So I think that there are really cool things in here for me to check out, and I'm gonna try to check out as many as I can within the 7-day free trial. If I'm really enjoying it, I might pay the $40 to have it for a month. We will see. Some conversations that I want to have next year on this channel are just talking about the ways that we as amateur equestrians can really take charge of our own education now in ways that we didn't used to be able to, just because of the types of incredible things that are available to us for a relatively affordable price online. You know, there's online training academies, there's virtual lessons with coaches all over the world, thanks to things like, you know, a Pivo. You don't always have to be reliant on trying to find a coach in your area for whatever discipline that you have, if there are ways that you can kind of supplement a lack of lessons. This isn't me advocating for not taking lessons. I take regular lessons, and when I start jumping Merlin more consistently, I will start taking jumping lessons. But for those who can't afford to take, you know, a lesson every week or even, you know, 2 lessons a month, things like this can help you to expand your knowledge. Editing Kaitlyn here again, and as always, because this is the internet, I feel the need to add a caveat. It should go without saying that in this case, I'm talking about experienced equestrians, people who have their own horses and who are looking for ways to switch up their training a little bit. If you are a beginner or even an intermediate rider, or you are under the age of 18, you should be in a regular lesson program with a certified and qualified coach. Most of my audience, and I think my target demographic, are people like me, the amateur equestrian, who might have their own horse or who have been riding for years and are looking to expand their knowledge sets. That is who this new series will be targeted towards. Not to say that people who are beginners or who have less experience will not be able to get anything out of them. You will, but I just want to make sure that people realize I'm not advocating for not taking lessons. Hope that's clear. I am a lifelong student, and part of the reason why I want to check these things out is just because I'm obsessed with horses and I'm obsessed with learning. Combine those two things together, it's my kryptonite. I'm basically going to check out some of the master classes throughout the week, maybe longer. We'll see if I'm enjoying it. And after I finish each one, I will do a quick check-in and let you know kind of what I'm experiencing and what I'm thinking of it. I guess this is kind of first impressions, but also a review. Okay, so I feel like it probably goes without saying that this video is ending up a little bit different from what I had originally anticipated. I'm filming this now about 2 weeks after I first started filming the video. It is actually the day that the video is going live, Friday, December 8th, and it is about 7:30 in the morning before I start work for the day, and I'm going to hope that I can edit this on my lunchtime and get it uploaded. Basically, I've come to realize the amount of info and kind of in-depth type of review I wanted to do on this video is just not possible with the amount of time that I gave myself. When I do these tech reviews in the future, I want to make sure that I give whatever app or podcast or piece of technology that I'm reviewing enough of a trial for it to be a fair review. So if I were to do a review on something like EQUESTRIAN, I could definitely do that kind of review now. But with NOELLE Floyd, it is an incredible resource. I've come to realize it's not just the basic masterclasses. There's a lot that goes along with it that I really want to delve into before I give thoughts on the specific masterclasses that I've checked out. So I'm not going to do that, even though I literally just said that I was going to. Instead, this video is going to be kind of part 1, and I'll do part 2 in like January or February, where I kind of go into detail about specific masterclasses that I checked out. Instead, this is going to kind of be a review review and first impressions of the platform, the type of courses and masterclasses that they have, and what I think, who I think that this kind of platform is best targeted towards and who it might suit. And I will give some brief thoughts on the 2 masterclasses that I've checked out so far. It goes without saying, it's 2 weeks later, the free trial is up, and I've paid for at least 1 month. I'll probably do 2 months and give my thoughts at the end of that 2 months. So in terms of the platform itself, I can see why this is at a slightly higher price point than some of the other subscription type platforms I've checked out, like Horse and Country TV Plus, Agency Plus. The value of what you get is so much higher than those platforms. So you're not only getting the kind of video masterclasses, but you're also getting lessons and training, not lessons, but like the training programs that they have that go along with each course. You're getting the guided rides, you're getting a workbook, you're getting access to a private Facebook group. And I think for those who want to take full advantage, or maybe coaches who are looking for new exercises or ways of thinking about things that they teach their students, I think it's absolutely wonderful. So I've paid for at least a month, and I'm probably going to watch a few of the master classes that I haven't yet checked out over the holidays and maybe into January, and that will give me some good motivation and ideas for exercises going into the spring, and to keep Eve taking over throughout the winter while she's still with us, because I mention it every time, but she's technically for sale, so she could sell at any point. Basically, we're not in a rush. We want to make sure she finds a good home, but there's no guarantee about how long she'll be around. So while I won't necessarily be immediately implementing the exercises and ideas that I'll be taking notes about, personally, the way that they intend for them to be used just doesn't align with the way that I work with my horses. So I'm not personally likely to try the training programs with the horses in the way that they intend them to be used, because they give you, like, say, a 3-week training program where you do such and such a thing on such and such a day. And that just doesn't align with the kind of varied cross training that I do with the horses. It's a little bit too rigid for my liking. Like I said, I tend to vary their training a little bit more, but I think that they're definitely worth me looking through for the sake of the exercises and ideas that are given. And I see something like Equestrian Masterclass holding a lot of value for, and this is kind of what I thought when I decided to check it out, holding a lot of value for someone who wants to vary their training and wants some good, clear ideas and exercises of ways to shake things up a bit, but who can't necessarily either afford, weekly or bi-weekly lessons, or who might not necessarily have regular access to the kind of caliber of coach that they're looking for. Because depending on where you are, sometimes it's hard to find a good coach in your area. For me, I have an incredible dressage coach who I take lessons with on a regular basis, but I can't necessarily afford to take regular lessons with different coaches for different disciplines, especially in eventing. I know a lot of eventers, depending on where you are, will have a dressage coach, a show jumping coach, and like a cross-country eventing coach. At this moment, that's just not feasible for me, and it's not like I'm actually out there eventing, but there's a lot that I can do using tools and platforms like this to start getting ready for when that time comes without breaking the bank. And I also think it's a great supplement if you struggle to come up with training exercises on your own. For the longest time, I've been the type of person who, if I don't make plans, I go out, I do my warm-up routine, but I don't really vary the horse's training. And I think there's a balance of both. You want to make sure that you're doing some training exercises and things to make the horse think, but also having fun rides where you just kind of do whatever you want and put her around. And I've reached a point in my horsemanship and in my riding where I have found a nice balance between the two. And I think that this particular platform is a really great way for you to kind of pick things that work for you and that you think might benefit you and your horse, while also just absorbing all of the information that they have available. I will definitely say that this particular platform probably holds more value for someone who, like me, does English riding, so dressage, show jumping, eventing, mostly because that seems to be who it's targeted towards, but there's also some really great informational classes or groundwork classes that I think anyone, Western, working horsemanship, polo, whatever, would benefit from. And in terms of the actual master classes, the way that they're set up is really great. You get a workbook, there's the video, and then there's key takeaways written at the bottom, so that if you're like me and you like to take notes, you can skim the key takeaways before you watch the video so that you kind of know what the video is going to delve into a little bit. I think my ADHD brain tends to require multiple viewings of something for me to actually absorb all of the information that's being presented. And the kind of shorter nature of these courses means that there is a lot of info being sent your way. And they actually do recommend in the little preamble to each course that you watch it once through and then go back and kind of reabsorb things, take notes and whatever. That is how I've been doing it, and that's kind of how I've been finding that I've been benefiting the most from it. So that's kind of my ideas on the basic platform, and then I'm going to talk just a little bit about the 2 masterclasses that I've checked out so far. This is just the video course part. I haven't checked out the training or anything like that. So I've checked out the one by Boyd Martin, which is kind of all about confidence and building bravery, but also has some really good ideas about introducing horses to cross country and how certain elements of a cross country course should be ridden. So for someone like me, it's great. And then I also checked out, there's a few courses. It's basically just short informational videos about hoof health and hoof care with a farrier named Rich Afonso. I think I mentioned him earlier in the video. So in terms of the Boyd Martin course, I love the mix of the chatting and demonstration, and he lays things out in a super clear and good way for someone who is new to cross country like me. I have done it before, but like in terms of actually riding a cross country course and the way that certain higher level fences should be ridden, that's something that's going to be very new to me when the time comes. It's wonderful for people who are newer to eventing, but I also think that people who are more experienced could also benefit from just going back to basics and seeing how someone of his caliber approaches riding and introducing young horses to certain elements of that part of the sport. And I also appreciated how he made a distinction between bravery versus fearlessness. And he talks about how bravery comes from confidence, which is built through prep and practice, which is kind of how I approach building confidence and succeeding with horses, is just through preparation and setting yourself and your horse up for success. So I really, really liked that. And then as for the hoof care kind of course, and this is something that I feel like I should say is what's nice on Noelle Floyd, the Equestrian Masterclass website, is that there seems to me to be 2 distinct type of masterclasses. There's the kind of ridden ones like the Boyd Martin one that I checked out, and then there's the kind of more theoretical, informational based ones like the hoof care one, leg aftercare, mindset ones. So that's when I talk about a nice balance for different types of equestrians, that's what I mean. So this particular course, I thought, and I'm a bit of a hoof geek, so I feel like I'm approaching this with maybe slightly more knowledge than the average person who is looking for like an intro to hoof care and common hoof problems. So it's a good intro, though it's not as comprehensive as I would have liked, but like I said, it's a great starting point for someone who's looking to learn a little bit more about hoof care and to take a little bit more ownership in their horse's hoof health. I will say that it is from a very kind of traditional point of view. So the farrier is kind of a traditional metal shoe farrier, which there's nothing wrong with. A lot of metal shoe traditional farriers are incredible and know a lot about hoof care. They kind of default to shoes as the answer to everything, when, you know, there are a lot of alternative practices and alternative ways of dealing with common hoof problems, even just alternative types of shoes nowadays that this course doesn't really seem to consider. But these are issues from my point of view and my kind of horsemanship philosophy, not necessarily that there's something wrong with the course per se. I just don't think that it offers as broad of a perspective as it could, but it has a lot of really good information and is a good introduction. But I always just suggest for people to make sure that they're looking at things from every possible perspective to find something that works for them and aligns with wherever they are in their horsemanship journey at the time. So those are my thoughts on the 2 specific courses. I was scared that I wasn't going to have much to end this video with, but this is my 3rd clip of 5 minutes. So I've been currently talking for about 17.5 minutes. So this will probably be a longer video than I thought it was going to be. So I will shut up now. If you enjoyed this and you are intrigued to see more, I think for now I'm going to call it equestrian tech tips. If you have a better name better idea for a name, because I'm not very creative when it comes to stuff like that, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you want to see more. I've been saying this in all of my recent videos. I would love to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, and I think it's doable. We're now above 450, which is incredible. Thank you so much. And until next time, which will be day 5, which will involve Merlin and jumping, I will see you next time. Bye.